Hey everybody, welcome back to Star Wars Minute. It's the daily podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate the Star Wars movies 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
I'm Alex Robinson from AlexRobinson.fun. Still getting used to that one.
Oh, that's a real thing. I'm Josh Flanagan from iFanboy.com. And I can't believe we're still doing this.
It's true. We are. Josh, of course, is the original Ink Bantha. He was there for the genesis of this, and
Genesis.
Fortuitous that you're here first. You're a first guest for the season, which means you get to reclaim the lounge. The lounge is yours this year. So the every season and a live show lounge, which is changed hands a few times. It's the Josh Flanagan Lounge all season.
Nice. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want. I think that's important because the fact is you have a lot of people on here who are much more famous, and I can't even put myself in that category, and I resent them. I'm funnier. I'm just as good, if not better than many, but fate and providence have meant, but this makes up for all of it.
Yeah. Well, now I can picture you every season being like, what are those people doing in my lounge? And now it's
right,
official.
Because if I had a lounge named after me, what I would do is bar others from being in it.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Just storm in. That's the, I've mentioned this. Did I tweet this or is it stuck in my draft somewhere? That if I said, there's a couple of, I don't know if they do it here as much. They do for like highway interchanges and stuff. But I feel like in New York, there are a lot of like streets named after people that like just like, oh, this block is named after, a
lot of times it'll be Way, Joey Ramone Way.
Right. So they'll just take a section of street that already has a name and be like, oh no, it's also this, street or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was saying, if I happen to get a street named after me, don't do something stupid like call it, like Peter Bonavita Way. Like, you name that street the Retailer. Come on. This is my pledge. Make that happen.
But it's one of those that like is under the actual street name. Just that's sad. You
know
what
exactly.
I want? I want an interchange.
Yeah.
In LA, I noticed, I always saw it when I drove back home on the 101, there was the Earl T. Hinman Memorial Interchange. And I was like, literally no one knows who Earl T. Hinman is. No one. But we all know his name. I think I looked him up once. He's like a sheriff or something. I don't know.
I did. I used to enjoy. Like,
this is feeling a little Weekend Edition-y.
Yeah, it's just true. It's true. Let's talk about the show.
I haven't talked to you guys in a while.
Let's if that's the kind of content that you're looking for, yeah, please feel free to join us on our Star Wars Minute Weekend Edition, available to Patreon subscribers. But we are here today.
People gotta pay if they want to hear what streets we want named after us.
I mean, half of Goodfellas Minute was just talking about the Parkway system.
That's true, yeah. Today, we're not here to talk about Goodfellas. We're not here to talk about streets. We're here to talk about Minute 6 of Star Wars, Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Had to do some math on that one. Minute 8 starts with Poe Dameron zooming in to take out the cannons, and it ends with BB-8 beginning to work his magic. Because he will become angry and use his magic.
I was glad we got a little bit of Hux in this, although obviously he comes out the rest of the week. But I forget, Josh, what are your feelings, R.E. Hux?
I like Hux a lot. I think Hux is a cartoon villain in the vein of Grev Marf Tarkin, but sort of turned up a little bit. Right. I really like Domhnall Gleeson as an actor, and I like the sort of he'll do all sorts of movies, has tons of range, and so when he got in this, he could have done it lots of ways, but he was like, I'm going with a lot of ham here, and he like committed to it and stuck with it, and it, I don't know, it's just almost out of place, but it's just right, and then it lets all the other people around him do that. We'll meet whoever the captain is, who's right, he sort of is like, oh, I'll do that too in this, like, yeah, it's fantastic.
It is.
It kind of has almost Hux has a Daffy Duck vibe to him, like he's like just constantly frustrated and about ready to yell.
I mentioned this last week. I think that I totally I didn't really get it in The Force Awakens. I was like, Hux, he's a little too over the top for me. And then with this whole just sequence here, I was like, oh, he's supposed to be over the top, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally like he doesn't have a mustache, but it is
Right,
mustache twirling. But also like he's Headley, like it's not.
Yeah, we do get just a brief like Hux face because at Poe's zooming in and Hux is
That's
just
a
makes
good
this
one,
kind
though.
of it's just purely there to be like, oh, that's a good reaction. We gotta keep that in there.
What word would you use to describe there? I wrote down sniveling because it's.
Isn't sniveling like a low status thing, whereas he's the high status? But
I know, but his face is all like he's. Like I can't.
I know-
I'm
no,
trying to
I-
come up with an adjective for it of what
feels
his
like
face-
the right word for the look, but
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. I can't. It's not right, but it's. I can't think of anything else.
snidely.
Look, he's smelling like a small turd under his
Yeah.
nose all the time.
Right.
Anyway,
Hux face. That's just what we'll call
Hux
it
face.
from now on.
He's
Hux
huxing.
face. He's huxing. He's huxing something serious.
wasn't that a rap hit in the 80s?
Hux it.
No.
Um,
I broke improv rules. I was like, no, that was not.
but yes, that other captain that you mentioned is Captain Modin Kennedy.
Oh, Kennedy.
I knew you'd have it. I didn't even bother looking it up. I wanted you to have
Yeah.
that moment.
Kennedy.
And I say to you,
Right. Let's get those aft cannons up and running. He's they're not aft cannons, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I love this. We see Captain Kennedy in command of the dreadnought. What was the dreadnought? The emulsifier.
Fulminatrix.
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 wow.
And I like that they've got the kind of the Klingon darkroom situation going on in there, where it's just like they switched to the red tactical lights, and it's pretty awesome.
Well, that deals with two of my notes. I really liked the fact that we immediately start seeing like military tactics and sort of first orders. A lot of that stuff that I think I would have wanted in the other movies that we just sort of they hinted at, but here you kind of get a sense of where the battle is going and what they're doing, and that part's always fun. And I'm going to call them Imperial officers, but I know that they're first order officers, and we'll just have to deal with that.
Do the same.
But the
Sorry.
Imperial officers, they're all, they're going to their battle station. He's telling them what to do over here. And the fact that, it's got the red going on. And one of the things that we can talk about the whole movie at some point, but I think that this is one of the best
just
looking
these
of the
minutes.
Star Wars. Well, no, I mean, I don't want to, I'm going to focus on the minute and then we'll pull back. But it's a really good looking movie. I don't know that it's the most Star Wars looking movie, but it is a beautiful looking movie, even out of that context. So when you get to those scenes where, everybody's faces are red because they're in that sort of battle mode, I just think that's such a really nice touch. And it's a really simple thing to do, is sort of like, this color's going, oh, it's red, it's scary, but I noticed it. And that's again that's kind of thing that like doesn't happen in other Star Wars movies so much, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we get that somewhat, that kind of playing with light and coloring happens a bit in Empire, but that's it.
That's about it. Yeah. There's
and-
the orange and turquoise bit, and then, but not really. It's all very almost, bland. That's not the word, but just sort of flat in the color, which was actually part of the aesthetic, which is part of what sets this movie apart in a way that is somewhat good and somewhat not.
From a certain point of view.
Well, Kennedy in red is Dancing with Me. Is played by Mark Lewis Jones. Mark Lewis Jones is Kennedy. He auditioned to play a First Order officer in Force Awakens, and they just kind of tabled him. They're like, "You're good. We'll put you in the pool." He's in like the temp, like the kind of guys that we need for that Imperial officer vibe. And his number just didn't get called for the Force Awakens, but it pays off here. I think he's put to better use than he would have been probably.
It's got to be like the percentage of people who get told that you were great, we just can't use you on this, and they, well, I'm never going to hear from them again. And they were like, oh wait, there's a very meaty little part here.
A year or two later, they're like, wait, actually, we need you.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, there's going to be so many Star Wars things under production that they're gonna have like an old school Hollywood central casting type thing where we need 3 Imperial types and we need a space alien. Right. They run down to the the pool of all the aliens waiting to get cast. And,
Yeah, but in the meantime, Mark Lewis Jones, was that it?
Mm-hmm.
Mark Lewis Jones.
Mark Lewis Jones had gotten a job at the Agway, and he was like, I've given up on this whole thing.
Well,
Then he had to quit.
not only he has a previous Star Wars credit, but it's a Legends video game. It's a video game that is now firmly ensconced in the Legends territory.
That's twice removed from canon.
It is Star Wars: The Old Republic, not Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh.
It's just Star Wars:
Days of
the Old Republic. He played Darth Decimus. Sounds like maybe it's a math game. Maybe it's like
And he got on set, and he was just like, amateurs. I've been here before, had a huge attitude, and that's why they killed him.
It's Darth Decimus. It's
Yeah,
Darth
or-
Decimus. It's Darth Decimus.
somebody recognized him from that.
He kept waiting for somebody to say something. He's like, all right, any minute now. Oh, it's weird. No one mentioned it again today.
Excuse me, sir. Yes, why I'm Darth Decimus.
Did you say Darth
could just-
Decimus? Oh, no, you said Mark. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you were just standing in front of the coffee.
Decimus. And he so there's 2 other. So he also I think this is as we discussed maybe last season or the previous season rather. I think one of our new with the classic trilogy is Who Was He in Star Wars? Who Was He in Star Wars? That's a fun game to play while you're watching Star Wars. No, Who Was He in Superman was our game for the classic trilogy. And I think that Game of Thrones and The Crown are probably the 2 kind of that vie for the title. I think Game of Thrones is probably going to end up being the winner.
We had a lot of characters on that show.
But
You were a British person with a beard.
It's the Law and Order of British actors.
Yeah.
Everyone goes through it
exactly.
at one point or another.
sometimes multiple roles. Multiple roles. Mark Lewis Jones was Shagga. Zoinks. Leader of the Stone Crows on Game of Thrones.
I can picture it. I can't remember the specifics, but yes.
Yeah.
That's a North Wildlings. It's got to be.
Could be. I don't know.
Nah.
I bailed on that show about halfway through, maybe.
I'm thinking of the Black Crows. That's
Oh, yeah, I know.
I was like, wait a minute.
That's
It's
a different.
easy to get. Wow, that's Chris Robinson.
Wow. Coincidence?
I thought it was the guy from Counting Crows who didn't he fall off a ladder while changing a light bulb? Wasn't that a big news story? Like once they like
How many did it take?
This doesn't
he
sound
was,
like it.
yeah, he was counting the crows that it took.
Sha-la-la-la.
But Captain Kennedy, named after, so Modin Kennedy is kind of a Tuckerization scramble of
I could go for a Tuckerization scramble right now.
nice and early. Get that with some coffee and toast.
$6.99 at Denny's after 11.
He's a Tuckerization scramble of May Dove Kennedy, who was the main character in the movie May, which came out in 2002 and was edited, at least in part, by one Rian Johnson.
Wow, I've never heard of this movie. Have either of you
Is
heard
that
of it?
even a reference if nobody knows it? That may as well be his aunt.
I think that becomes an Easter egg, right? That it moves from being, I don't know, it's not a plot hole.
Mm-hmm. No.
No. We couldn't fit a plot through it. But
Homage?
But yeah, that's Kennedy.
Tribute to Rian Johnson. A little tip of the nod of the hat to Rian
Right.
Johnson.
Which
from
himself.
Rian Johnson.
It's vanity.
From it. Well, he put in Kennedy. I think it was just Officer Kennedy or whatever, Captain Kennedy in the thing, which is the May the same last name, same surname as the character in the movie, and then I think in doing the visual dictionary something like that, then it was extrapolated upon by Pablo Hidalgo probably, and that's when May Dove became Modin. I guess
That is really going in. I mean,
It's named after
is next
Kathleen
level.
Kennedy. That seems like the much more right in your face answer.
right. Maybe the whole they made up this movie that he edited just as a ruse to protect. Like, oh, they think we were talking smack about Kathleen. We gotta.
They knew no one was gonna check.
Just tell her it was a movie that I worked on.
I'm big enough now that they'll just do an IMDb page without checking.
That's true. Yeah. I didn't see May, but I guarantee you it ruined my childhood. So.
Oh, totally.
Exactly.
From that.
But yes, Kennedy. I like Kennedy. It was
Kennedy Johnson, 2000, whatever year this was.
There you go.
Wow, that's weird. I'm sure that's weird.
Oh man, have somebody done? Somebody should. Well, no, we should do that. I guess. Yeah. If we want to anger the people more than we're going to this season, we should totally take a Kennedy Johnson campaign poster and put in Ryan Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy, their faces into it, and
wow,
put that up.
I didn't even mean it that way, but wow, that works great,
doesn't it? And the people will be so upset.
There's no avoiding
the wrong
that.
people will be so upset, so it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of being upset, there's one of those lines where it's almost a line from Star Wars where the guy says, "Oh, there's the X-wing approaching, but it's too fast and too small," or something like that, for the cannon to hit it. Which is kind of it's a variation of the line. Their ships are so small, they're
evading our turbo lasers.
Our turbo lasers. It's just the same kind of line, continuing that tradition from.
I mean, the turbo laser's not designed for that, so it's complaining about a thing that there's pointless to. It's like, this spatula is no good for eating spaghetti. Right. No, because that's not what a spatula's for.
Are you talking about in the Death Star? They did just open it, so maybe they're still working out trying to figure out how
I feel like the turbo laser is more like a, ship to large ship kind of thing, or like a more stationary target, not the
right.
They have different.
I think they say as much. They're not expecting it's not geared towards an attack with a craft that small. That would be ridiculous.
You think they'd have figured that out by now, but.
So also they launched the TIE fighters. I love every shot of TIE fighters leaving the hangar, especially when they're in a big swarm like that.
Like a cloud.
A cloud of TIE fighters.
Yeah.
That's what a group of TIE fighters is called, a cloud.
A swarming of TIE fighters is always, that's the way they should be seen. A single TIE fighter, but a bunch of them.
Well, I think one by itself is interesting, and then a swarm is interesting. A cloud is interesting.
If there's one by itself, something's gone wrong.
Right.
That's what I know in Star Wars.
Must have gotten lost, been part of a convoy or something.
Or just everyone else is dead.
Right.
Yeah, the other situations are where you get to kind of stay with one TIE fighter longer than you normally would. Say, for instance, in Return of the Jedi, when they're going into the hero of the rebellion, Wedge, is being chased into the Death Star by those TIE fighters. They get in there and they blow it up, and the TIE fighters are immediately trying to hightail it out of there with them, and so that you see them get blown up. So that's always like, a little bit more like, oh, remember those guys? They were the ones riding with the Falcon when they got blown up. A little bit more personal touch.
I've had an ongoing thing with this week. I've noticed as I get older, as I've seen more things, I find myself less and less able to fully accept the complete lack of actual physics in these, and I keep noting, it just makes me wonder, did anybody at any point go, that's not how gravity works? Because there's a lot of that, but there's a thing here where, as in sort of a space thing, he flies through the flames, Poe Dameron. And then for a second, it's actually a cool image, is the flames sort of stick to the outside of the ship until they blow out. That's not going to happen. There's no reason other than that looks
Well, you're already
cool.
talking about space fire, so maybe space fire behaves differently than oxygen fire.
That's true. You can always sort of say these aren't our physics, and that's as close as we get to it. But if there's an explosion and then the fuel or the air that was in there, that could burn for a second until it's gone. But I don't think it's going to stick to the.
It wouldn't blow out either, right?
Yeah, but it was a cool image. I've never seen that happen. Because we've seen who is it that flew through? Is it Wedge? Shot a TIE fighter. It's been a while. I'm not up to it.
I thought you were just like, oh, was that Wedge by any chance? You were just trying to trick us into
that
talking
blew up
about
all
Wedge.
those TIE fighters?
Yeah.
Someone blew up a TIE fighter and then flew through it in the original trilogy. I'm trying to remember which.
Yeah, when Wedge saves Luke's bacon in the original Death Star run.
Yeah.
Original recipe Death Star run.
Yeah. So and like
You're trying to make me hungry now.
if that makes you hungry, then that's a problem.
So this
You need to remember what happens after KFC.
talking about wedges.
Yeah, a lot of pork and bacon, and you.
Anyways, it's cool to see like that sort of idea from a different angle. I think the Millennium Falcon does it at some point too, where they blow something up and as it blows up, they fly through it safely because, of course, there's no mass left in the middle. I like them going back because that's sort of a little Star Wars fighter motif that they've done before. But I noticed that little flames was like cool touch. Doesn't make sense.
So this is we get to BB-8 playing the role of R2-D2 in this movie, back in the ship, and Poe Dameron's like, "Fix my ship back there," and they cut to BB-8 down, sort of in the hold, zapping this and that. And it just got me wondering, like, how many repairs could a droid in that situation possibly make? Like,
I have a note about his toolkit for a later minute.
Okay.
But what I did notice about that was that BB-8 does a little inhale before he goes down. He goes, and then he shoots down, and then it turns out that the back of that thing is cavernous and empty inside.
Yeah,
like
it's like Oscar the Grouch's trash can.
Yeah, there's his luggage is over there. I thought, there's not really much room to move. You'd think he wouldn't have to go down there to like look at it. He does he should have all this.
It's true.
Like his body rotates, all the bits and bobs can come out of the lower part. He doesn't need to go down there.
He should have sensors on his. I don't know. It's true.
You don't have a butt if everything's the same. If that's
R2-D2 could do.
Some real Jedi wisdom there.
He doesn't have a butt.
Now let's add that to the merch store too. It's just a picture of BB-8 and it says it doesn't have a butt.
I'm a machine.
Well, I think, R2-D2 managed to fix everything from outside.
Yeah. Well, he does have a butt. He's got that hole on the bottom.
Oh yeah, it's true.
But I don't like if something happened
That's
at the
why he
front
can
of the
fix
ship.
things because he's got a butt.
It seems like if something happened at the front of the ship, neither of them would be like. It seems like you'd be better to have like 4 R2s stationed at different places. So if you had something shot off, that R2 would fix that area.
Well,
and,
why
as
is he
opposed to
there?
having one droid in charge of the whole ship.
Like, why is he there? Is he there to be a mobile? Okay, and also remember, this is in the future, so theoretically,
Past.
But in the future from the first one, so theoretically, technology should have advanced, but it seems like it didn't. Like, because R2 there was nowhere to go. He would just stay in that spot. I guess they shot him up from underneath too, or I don't know.
Well, I think it's basically he's got a little like adapter, right?
Yeah.
So that ship is basically meant for an R2-D2, but there's a little adapter that allows a BB-8 to be in there.
Yeah, but he can get to everything is the point. Like, he jacks in.
Right.
I assume he's not there for doing physical repairs to things, although we've seen him do that before. Like with this tiny spindly space arm that reached out and fixed the wing.
They should have really leaned into it and had him really rolling around in like a giant warehouse-sized, going through all like tunnels and fixing stuff. And
BB-8,
really,
yeah,
TARDIS.
Yeah.
Poe Dameron says, "Damn it."
I noted that, and I thought, what I thought was, is that okay? And I couldn't decide. I was like, is this Star Wars or not? And I mean, I don't know. They've said like low-grade swears before, but damn
Low-grade
it, sort of
swears.
I know they've said damn before, right? Have they said?
Sure.
They must have said damn before.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
this is where
don't ask me.
everybody's yelling at us and it escapes us.
May the damn force be with you.
I've been waiting for this for a long damn time.
Always in damn motion, the future is.
Luke, I'm your damn father.
Poe Dameron.
Obi-Wan goes, damn.
Damn.
After Vader throws Palpatine down the reactor shaft, that's when he looks and he's like, damn.
Chewie says it all the time. You just
didn't
know that.
Well, now I'm trying to remember. Damn fool idealistic crusade. There we go.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes, but it's not.
He's not damning something in particular.
Yeah, like like.
Well, he is the idealistic
fool.
He's not damning it. But it is damned already. Whereas, damn it, he's urging that thing be damned, as opposed to the.
Wait, I thought the fool was damned. Some damned fool. Idealistic
Well,
crusade.
the fool
Or
is
it the
already
crusade
damned. We
that's
don't
damned?
know, actually.
Who is
We don't
more
know if
damned, the fool or the idealistic crusade?
Damn.
If someone is damned, though, it has a biblical connotation or like a historical. Whereas "damn it" is just sort of like.
Do you think that's Poe Dameron's kind of catchphrase? He's like, "Damn it!"
I'm pretty sure his
Pretty
sure his catchphrase is "buddy."
Come on, VV8, you know, and I gotta go in there and damn it,
Buddy.
He's Dameron, so it's
Right.
Anyway,
He's tried it for years, but it will not catch on.
yeah. I have some information about Oscar Isaac handy here, in case you were curious.
About his what here?
Oscar Isaac.
Oh,
just
he
in general.
himself. Oh, okay.
Yes,
I'll
factoids.
take any information about that.
I was surprised to find out that he was his parent. He's a mix of Guatemalan and Cuban, which is funny because I always he seems like someone who plays.
Everyone.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But like all different types of ethnicities too. Like he's played Egyptian guys and so.
You mean Apocalypse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Like, I love that Apocalypse is like he's more than an Egyptian guy, but I guess he is. So
I like
it's
that.
funny.
If you were out in the world and you wanted to like accidentally stereotype Egyptian people, but you get it completely wrong, look at that guy. He's probably Egyptian. He's
Right.
blue.
Yeah.
You can
He
always
played
tell
Lloyd
an
Llewellyn,
Egyptian.
who's clearly a Welsh gentleman.
Okay.
So on the IMDb page, what do you think it says known for? What are his 4 items up there?
Poe Dameron.
Known for his
Llewyn Davis.
contagious catchphrase, "Damn it."
Llewyn Davis is correct. It is one of his top 3 movies.
The one where the robot where he dances, that movie.
Where he
I can't-
dances the robot?
Adventures of the Dancing Robot, number 1 answer.
What's that movie called? I think Domhnall Gleeson's in that one too, right?
It is Ech Machina.
Yeah,
Right.
that's there, right?
Yeah.
Good movie.
Have I not seen him in anything other than a Star Wars? It's likely.
Because
I don't-
He was.
I try not to see him in things beforehand. We all know that, but it's plenty of time has passed.
Yeah, I mean,
he's-
and he's been in a lot of big movies too.
He could arguably said to be better in a lot of other movies.
Well,
He's like he's been in a lot of big movies and he's been a great actor in a lot of things. But this is a man who will not turn down a genre role given to him. Like, will you play? Yes, I will. There's some other thing that he's attached to, like the next.
But he's in Dune, right? The new Dune.
oh yeah,
something like
that's
that.
what I'll see him in next. So there we go.
Yeah.
That'll be my breakthrough. Where I'll be like, oh, you mean
He was in-
Duplito Atreides?
He was in that David Simon miniseries about Yonkers in the 70s and 80s, like something Hero. He was great in that. It was really
Yeah.
good.
Oh, I saw him as 2 things that I saw him in. One, we'll count it. He was interesting person number 1 in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse in the little sting at the end. But Annihilation, I saw that on a plane. I think Annihilation on a plane.
Annihilation was his next movie after this one. And the one before that was Suburbicon. Anyone have seen that one?
No, is
He
that
doesn't
a-
always do great movies.
was
So the answer to the other question, The Force Awakens was the number 4 ranked, number 4 most known for, and number 3 was something called Most Violent Year.
That was a good movie.
I'd never heard of it before. I was
Very
surprised that
similar, like in that time frame. I think it's like crime-ridden New York, garbage contracts in the 80s.
yeah, it said it was set in 1981, the most dangerous year in New York history.
Yeah,
That seems,
it's a very serious movie.
but I would think
Like
the
it's-
Civil War were probably the riots. They had riots during the Civil War where people got,
well
Anyway.
most dangerous? Yeah, I guess.
It should be like of the 20th. If they said of the 20th century, all right, I'll give it to you. Although
I mean,
even
they
then,
killed a lot of
Even
people.
though, like, what about the flu epidemic? And
Moon Knight. He's Moon Knight. That's the other thing. Like
that's right.
And he's Metal Gear Solid. Is so like give it to me. I'll sign it. Can
wow.
it be any kind of cartoon?
I guess didn't put it together that he was Moon Knight. I knew that Moon Knight was happening, and I didn't know that it was him, but he is. Yeah, I like him. I just don't know what
Show me a hero.
I don't think I've.
He's
I've
a really
seen him
good
much.
actor. He's a very strong actor, and he does a lot of good things. But
Yeah.
it isn't one of those things where, like, if you see his name, you're like, "Oh, this is an excellent movie." That is not a guarantee.
Right. Right.
Because, like, did you see X-Men Apocalypse? It's not
No.
good. No. Let's stay with that.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to integrate that into the new MCU. Him playing Moon Knight and being. Are they going to have to come up with some explanation for why Moon Knight looks just like Apocalypse?
1,000 people who write articles will.
Right. They just have to have somebody be like, you look kind of like Apocalypse. Like, yeah, I get that a
You
lot.
probably say that about every Egyptian person, don't you?
Oh.
Oh yeah, wait. That maybe they'll do that. They'll tie it in that way, right? Because the Fist of Khonshu.
Yeah, there
So
you go.
there you
Had to
go.
put that together.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. He's getting typecast
From now on, you're only going to play Egyptians.
from Marvel. Damn it. That means he gets to be Kang. Ramatut.
I was about to go. I was going to follow up with that, but then I was like, wait, this isn't a Marvel show. But this is. So far, you've tricked
Well,
us into
that's all I
talking
have
about
for
Wedge and comic books. Come on.
Specifically Kang.
That's all I got for minute number 6.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else?
No, that's pretty much all I had for
My-
6.
Yep, I'm done. I'm good. I'd already moved down.
All
I
right.
thought I had a note, but I was like, that's for the next one. I've already pushed them off the screen.
Josh, can you come back tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
good.
Good,
I just checked.
Because we will be here tomorrow. In the meantime, listeners, if you would like to see what this looks like, if you're just listening to this and want to see it, go to StarWarsMinute.com/YouTube, and you'll get to see the video of this. In theory, provided that everything has gone correctly. Every once in a while,
Don't write checks your buttless
Exactly.
butt can't cash.
Don't write checks that Tom Cruise's butt can't get. Wait, or is it vice versa? I don't know. Anyway, we go check us out on video, StarWarsMinute.com/YouTube, and see us there, and then see us back here tomorrow for a brand new Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute.